Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're out here day 2, TX2k. Got my boy Jack Stan eating some breakfast. Got him a Red Bull.
Breakfast of champions.
Yeah, buddy.
A bagel and a Red Bull.
I already ate my bagel. I didn't waste no time. Got the oil draining. We unfortunately missed first round, but that's all right. We had a couple things we got to take care of. We had to rebuild one of the injectors. Jack got a hold of James, gave him pointers on what to do, how to get it apart, how to clean it. So we're changing the oil right now because it had a lot of methanol in it. And then we'll get her fired up. Got a tune up in it. I'm hoping it'll just kind of tote the front wheels just a little bit.
Then we'll pour the close to it.
It can pick them up as long as it stays like this high or lower.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to because the thing just goes straight up in the air. So we need some weight to add to the front of this thing a little bit. The weight bias was not in our favor. We knew that coming into this, so we'll see. As soon as the second round comes up, we'll get her out there and see what she'll do. All right, guys, we'll see you in the lanes. All right, guys, so we fired the car up, changed the oil, and we ended up finding cylinder number 1 was not stuck. So pulled that one out.
Both stuck.
Yeah, they were both stuck, but we pulled the other injector out, cleaned them all, lubed them all up. So I think what I'm gonna do is get some pre-lube and just run it through. Like before we shut it down, we'll run some pre-lube through it, or maybe run some 93 through it, just to make sure it's not sitting with methanol in it. Especially when I take them out and put them in my truck, just make sure everything's good. That way they're not sticking and stuff like that. So we did miss first round. We're not gonna get that qualifier. The end of tonight, we will get it up there again. Hopefully the tune-up that's in it is solid. It won't wheelie and it'll just go down the track. But we're gonna find out. You ready to make some hits today, bro, or what?
Dude, I think maybe we might be able to make one.
I'm thinking we might be able to. All right, guys, welcome back. Day 3. Weren't able to make any hits yesterday. Too many oil downs. They ended up pushing our class off till today, which is Saturday. So car's ready to go. It's been ready since yesterday. Everything seems good with the injectors. We had to rebuild 2 of them. A little bit of help from Jack over there. Told us how to take them apart, what to do, what to look for, and seems good.
Yeah, big shout out to Jack with that. Gave me all the info I needed to be able to rebuild the injector, and then also checked up on me afterwards and made sure that they were fixed and good. Also came up with an alternative route if I couldn't get them fixed. Good guy over there at Billet Atomizers. So put some fuel in the car and just went over the tune-up again. Hopefully this one's not a moon tune, and we'll see what happens. This car is strapped down. Got Dougie Fresh ready to go.
You know what's gonna happen? No more wheelies.
For either one of you?
Yeah, and fast CTs.
That's what we're hoping for.
I've been thinking about it all morning. That's what's gonna happen.
Ruby's ready to go. Yesterday he went up to make his qualifier and the clamp came off of the charge tube. So got a new charge tube on that. And yeah, we're gonna go see what we can do. What we about to do?
Go fast.
We're gonna go real fast.
Keep all 4 tires on.
I don't know if you guys can see through there, but you can't see it. We didn't have any front end limiters, and we didn't have any weights we could add to it. So kind of like ratchet strapped it down, like old motorcycle trick we used to use, strapping the front end down, see if it works. Hopefully it works. I had done to the tune didn't work. So we're gonna change a couple things around the suspension, make another tune change. I'm just gonna leave as soft as I possibly can for like the first second, and then start trickling to it. We tried to hit it a little bit harder earlier, and it clearly did not work. Not what it wanted. So we're gonna make a shock adjustment now. He already made a little one, but as you can see, we're gonna move the shocks up so it has a little bit more travel in the back. And then the front end was tied all the way down. It didn't make a difference. So those are off now. We're just gonna go back to where we had it and just leave super soft, because we don't really need to set the world on fire. It just needs to be kind of consistent. And we only have 2 more qualifying hits. So we're gonna get it to go A to B, not as fast as it possibly can, but as fast as it'll allow us. So the weight bias on this car is like 50-50, which is absolutely terrible for a radial, and it's short. So we're gonna get these shocks moved up, and then hopefully tonight we'll be able to make another hit. Alright guys, readjusted the shocks, set them all up. So now we have 1 inch of downward travel, which that's about 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
And 3.5 inches of upward travel. So that should help. With the radial stuff, you want it to kind of plant the tire and separate. It's not really doing that because we don't have enough bar angle, so we're trying to do everything we can to help it. So
See what it does.
we're gonna stop. We're trying to not, I mean, even though we're in Houston, we're not trying to be like NASA, and that's what keeps happening.
Yeah, we're going to the moon.
Yeah.
We're trying to stay on the land.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get another round in tonight. Hopefully these changes work and it can go A to B. Like I said, we don't need to be the fastest people on the property.
No.
We just need to go down the track.
I got a fast car.
Yeah.
I don't need to be number 1.
No.
I came to win. So
Yeah. So there's a few different classes. So if we can just go, I think if we can get it to go in 8.0 consistently, we should be good.
I know it can do it.
Yeah.
That 826 passes was coming out for that wheelie. If it would have stayed in, it would have definitely been.
Well, it's going to be
close to
slow to the 60 for sure. Well, we can't say that. It's not going to be super fast like the 240 to the 60 right this second with what's in it. But we started a little aggressive. We should have softened it up. I thought it was going to be soft enough. It wasn't. So now we're on the super soft tune-up, and we'll trickle in from there as long as it works.
Yeah, it should. It's definitely going to take the hit because
Yeah, it's been taking the hit.
a third of the power
Yeah.
turned into a lead. So we're hoping that it'll slow ramp in and just make the car, let the car settle and do what it needs to do before the power gets there. What's happened is the car's not happy, we're just whacking the power.
Yeah, it's getting to a point where it just rides the ring gear up instead of the transition, where it's trying to drive the front end of the car up instead of hitting the tire and trying to separate and plant it even harder. It's trying to drive the front of the car up. Just the way the suspension geometry is right now and the weight bias is what's causing it to do that. And the only thing we can do is manage power. So that's what we're gonna do.
That's what we're gonna do.
All right, guys, we're in the lanes for Q3, I believe. Q3, this will be our last qualifier, I believe, until tomorrow, if we even get another one. It's so busy here, somebody oiled out. I don't think it's gonna happen. So we made that shock adjustment. I put a tune-up in it that should leave pretty soft. However, I have thought the last few tune-ups should leave pretty soft. So I have no idea what it's gonna do. I'm hoping for the best. It's really cold out. The track has been killer all night, but the DA is amazing. So hopefully this thing goes down and it goes pretty quick. Yo, bro, what's with these sticking injectors?
Dude, I don't know, dude. Maybe we just need to lube them with some like.
We just had to service
or something.
between the clip that y'all just saw and now. We just serviced 4 injectors because it pulled in and it started pouring everywhere.
Live action, dude. Live action.
TX2k21. Get back. morning. Welcome back to the channel. Day 4, elimination rounds. Just went to get James' car up. Had everything ready last night, put a tune-up in it. That should be extremely soft. Just tested the boost on the brake, everything works good. An injector, again, got something in it. This is the first time we've actually had something in it. All the other ones before were just sticking, I guess. I don't know, but this one actually had a piece of trash in it, so it wasn't allowing it to shut all the way. So just fixed that. He's coming up now. I don't know who we're paired up with, but this will be our first round of eliminations right now. Well, you saw that. We went out first round, wheelied again.
So we put a lot of schmutz to it, and all the schmutz made the gear say,
oh, well, yeah.
I'm out.
Up high, the pass before last night, so our last qualifier, he was on the scramble button the whole time. So I just added that to the end of the table so that it would be on that. And if he needed to scramble, he had a little bit extra. But that was 3 pounds on the trans brake, 3 pounds on the leaf. We lowered the leaf, and it still went straight to the bumper.
So it softened, I mean, it left straight to the bumper, but it softened it enough to where I was able to give it more throttle sooner, but it toted the tire forever because of it. So I had to roll out of it and get back in it before I get on the button to bring the front end down. And it just ate up too much real estate. I was catching the guy fast, shortened the gap real good, and I went through on his tire, on my front tire. We were damn near tired of the tire going through the traps, just ran out of room, ran out of gear. Once it hit limiter, it just made the car stop.
Yeah, it's going to. So. And that limiter is at 85 or 8600. So definitely, if you're gonna run a quarter, you're gonna have to make a gear change. We're just gonna have to make some wholesale changes all around to get the thing to work. The weight needs to be shifted around a little bit, so we can have some more on the nose.
I'm gonna get the car back on the scales and just start hanging weight on the front end until it gets to where we want it percentage-wise and still even side to side. And if it's 120 pounds, then I know what I can do with the car to make that change without having to just hang the weight. It's this way the car stays the same weight. Worst case, I end up having to put 10-20 pounds on the nose, which is no big deal because it gives you all the tunability in the world when you get to put the weight where you want it. So the last thing we want to do is add a bunch of weight to the car just to keep the nose down. So moving it weight, which we knew going into this, we knew bringing it out here that we had a very high challenge on our hands just to get it not to wheelie, and we were unsuccessful. I did everything I knew what to do. He did everything he knew what to do. So we're talking about some shocks in the back, get a little bit different back there. Yeah, so I'm gonna get some brackets so I can make my Caltrack bar more adjustability. I'm gonna get some rear end sliders so the loop back leaf can slide, and then also go from a 5.5-inch travel shock to a 7-inch travel shock and get a newer. I mean, with these cars, it seems like almost every week there's something newer, better. Oh yeah,
everything's progressing so fast.
So I know that there's a better shock program out there. It's still going to be a Menska shock, but they just have a leaf spring specific 7-inch travel deal, 7-inch bodied shock that I know works phenomenally on these cars. So I'm going to just go ahead, bite the bullet, get a set of those valved for the car.
And for the weight, for the power, for the gear, for everything,
for the whole combo. So it'll be a shock made just for that car in hopes that it helps us.
That'll definitely help. But getting the weight.
Also, when I do it, when I do all this stuff at the rear, I'm gonna drop the back of the car about an inch, level out the rake. So this way, when the suspension does what it's got to do, it doesn't have to fight the rake.
Yeah, we don't want it to squat down. That's the thing. With the radial, you never see them squat. They either stay the same or they separate. So
kind of getting a squat motion.
It squats and just rotates. A lot of that's bar angle too. Not being able to adjust it any more than we already have it. We can't get the anti-squat that we want in it. So when the car goes to leave, it squats first, and then it's just driving the thing right up on the ring gear. So 3 pounds of boost, it squatted, it started driving it up, and then it's I had it holding 3 pounds to try to keep it coming down.
Yeah,
but
which I could, knowing the car so well,
Yeah.
driving the car, it definitely did what we told it to do. It just still was too high.
Yeah.
But it held power. I mean, it was soft. Like, it wasn't, like last night in the wheelies before, we were super aggressive.
Yeah. Real,
Bouncing around. So that one, it just was smooth, soft.
Yeah.
It didn't even compress the front end. Like, when it came down, it didn't like, boom.
Yeah.
It just set it down and went. So we know it did what we wanted to do. It just wasn't enough. The car's just, the chassis itself just needs more.
Yeah. Which we already knew that coming into it, but hey, we gave her hell.
We just ran out of time.
That's it. That's all it was. So we got Leroy is still in, and that's the only one. Everybody else went out first round. So
All right, here we go.
Leroy went a new personal best 8th mile. He clipped it off after the 8th one at 498 at 146 mile an hour. So we'll keep picking at that tune-up. I'll show you guys some of that, and enjoy the rest of the time we got out here. All right, guys. Guys, went a 774 on that one. The guy that we got a race just went a 757, and he's driving the thing all over the track. So we're gonna go ahead. That one left on 8.5 pounds. I'm gonna bump it up so it leaves on 10.5 pounds. This is our little timing retard, so it'll build boost while he's on the clutch switch on the 2-step. I went ahead and raised the leave up 100 RPM, and I've raised his shift rev limiter to 8100, which is 300 higher than it was before. So hopefully that'll get it out a little bit more first gear, get a little bit better 60 foot, and then 1800 RPM drop so that he doesn't have to use the clutch. And then in the boost controller, I just went ahead and sent it. So we added 5 pounds total to first gear, and then maxed out second, third, and then we teeter off a little bit in fourth gear, just to kind of control it a little bit. It was making about, pull the log up here, top of fourth gear we were making 39.9 pounds of boost. Let's see, we're making the third gear, put it to the top third gear, 38.7. Top of second was 35.8. And top of first on this pass was 24 pounds, 24.4 pounds. Last pass, it was actually 30 pounds. So I'm trying to get it to ramp in a little bit more in first gear. You can tell when you let off, it still dipped a little bit. And then you can kind of see right here where the clutch grabbed it and it started going. So we're trying to get rid of this little dip here. If I showed you a log from the other night, it was actually real bad. It came down and like drooped like real hard, and then did one of those numbers up. So I'm trying to get it to just and kind of go into here just like that. Smooth transition, and that should get him down pretty good. The track is killer. It was a little slimy right there, and it still took it. So the track's only going to get better. The sun is setting right now, so hopefully it pick up and maybe go 750 or something like that. I don't know if we'll pick up 2/10, but we're about to find out. So we're gonna turn the car around, and I'll see y'all in the staging lanes. Alright guys, TX2k21 didn't go as planned.
It's okay, I had a bush light in
We
your video.
got some lattes. We gave it our best. Our brother's over there taking some pictures from the fans. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.